What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Bears Den podcast, where I'm joined with my co-host MedMan and a special guest, Brandon Rosewag. I hope I said that right. So, what's up with you two? How's your week's been?
Been a very good week. No complaints. Of course, they're going to start blowing leaves right now.
Nice.
Perfect timing.
Always. Same for me. Good week. No complaints. Chilling.
It's been a mentally exhausting week for me. This market has been tough this week. Sometimes technicals just go out the windows, on weeks like this. Brandon, how'd you do this week trading?
I actually did really good. So I've been playing around with a new strategy, and I'm sure most of the people in Team Bull and Grizzly and MedMan, you've seen it. I've been getting these really, really good entries on SPY and QQQ, super low risk, and they paid off all week. So I've just been playing around with that strategy, killing it. And then other than that, it's been good. No complaints.
Are you willing to talk about what you're doing different or anything is it particularly an indicator that you're using or just?
So I'm looking for confluences in a certain area, but it has a lot to do with Fibonacci retracement. So just taking different points of pivot high, pivot lows, I'm looking to see if there's a certain different fibs line up at the same level, and then on a different time frame, does it line up with this moving average or maybe even VWAP? And then that's really where I'm looking for my entry. So it's a little different than what I've been doing in the past.
Yeah, I like that. Areas of confluence with all them other things lining up adds to the probability for sure.
Yeah.
So Brandon, let's talk about this new book you got out. I've had a lot of people ask about it. What it's one of the top sellers on Amazon, right?
It was, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's number 3 now.
Number 3. That's still impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Wow. That's amazing. I'm still working my way through it. I like to take it slow with, technical books like this, reference and stuff like that, because, I just like to kind of read it over and over to make sure I'm understanding. So it kind of takes me 3 times as long,
Yeah. I have read it. I have read that book twice now. To me, if I had to put it into words personally, Brendan, we do the mentorship together, right? It's kind of like just reading your way through a mentorship. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Medman, you said you had some questions about the book you wanted to ask them, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. A few obvious questions, maybe more or less your process of writing the book in a tangible way, but also, I guess, from just your mental standpoint.
How I went about just writing the book in general?
Yeah, how you went about compiling the information, but also how you went about kind of maybe discovering new things while you were writing it.
Mm-hmm. So, the whole layout of the book, to be completely honest with you, I didn't really structure it. It was kind of just I sat myself here and I was if I were to teach somebody from the very beginning, what would be the process? I didn't write down on a piece of paper, first I'll talk about the Greeks and then the moving averages. It just came out like that. And it's, I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
So it just naturally kind of naturally formed its own way, sort of through your flow of consciousness sort of on paper, right?
Yes.
Right on.
So when I was writing the book, when you write stuff down, I could sit here and explain my entire strategy to you, but when you actually sit here and write it down and go full, in detail about the entire thing, not only is it going to help, whoever buys the book and reads it, but it also helps me because I'm showing to myself that I really know this information. And I'm I don't really know how to word it.
Yeah.
But yes, it helped with my overall trading because I was able to sit there and literally break this down. Yeah, I'll just put it there because I really don't know how to word it.
I mean, so yeah, you really just kind of analyzed your own methods and teachings until you kind of came up with this organized way of explaining it. Sorry, I looked back at the book. Like,
yeah, there's this structure of how you attain information. Like one, if you read a book, you obtain like 10 to 15% of the information is what you'll remember. And then I think once you start getting up and like you write a book or you even journal your trades, whatever it is, once you get the writing down, you start to obtain like 40-50% of the information. And then like at the very tippy top, when you teach somebody, like say MedMan, you took on, let's just say you have a younger brother and you teach him how to trade. Well, when you teach him how to trade, you obtain like 90% of the information, if that makes sense.
That's actually a really good example. I do have a younger brother.
There you go. But yeah.
So you mentioned journaling. Did journaling kind of sort of evolve into writing your first book and then this one sort of in a way?
To be honest, I wouldn't say the journaling went into the first book. I kind of wrote the first book just to say I had a book, but the first one was only like 100-something pages, and can't even buy it anymore. So with this one, I was like, because there's a book, the technical analysis of the financial markets, and I would say, not to toot my own horn, I know a good amount of stuff in the market. So I looked at that book and I was like, okay, people refer to this book as a holy Bible of trading. And I haven't really seen like another book that goes into detail like my book. So the goal was make the best book I possibly can and put as much information into this thing as possible to where people are like, okay, say somebody asks what trading book should I get? People refer to that and they're like, that's the new holy Bible of trading. So that was the kind of the goal with that book or this book.
Nice. So, I mean, this book definitely sort of encapsulates what it is to take a mentorship, basically. So with that, do you plan on, because of the book, either continuing to do mentorships for longer or maybe to stop and start relying on your publications instead?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep doing the mentorships. One, because yes, I go into detail on the book, but there's still so much more to talk about. Like if I really wanted to put everything that I knew into this book, it'd be 2,000 pages minimum.
Yeah, and that's true. Some people learn better hands-on too with mentorships, you know.
Definitely.
They have access to, you know, ask whatever they want, you know. That's where
myself included, you know, for sure.
Yeah. But the last step to making that book, you know, I won't say perfect, but I think it's almost time for me to narrow rate it. So
I think so. People want it.
They want it. So.
That is actually one of my questions.
I feel like that would be very frustrating to do.
As somebody who's read stuff like that kind of before, it is. Mostly you get frustrated with yourself though, because reading's hard.
So Brennan, are you currently working on another book? I know you mentioned it. A third book may be in the works.
Yes, so 2 other ones. The first one's never been done, so I'm tapping into that space. Made sure nobody else has done a book like it. I don't want to say too much about it, but I'm kind of surprised that somebody hasn't already made a book of something like this.
Interesting.
Because it's such a basic thing. I realized it and I was like, shit, I'm gonna write a book about it.
So Brandon, if they want to find your book, where can they go?
On
Of course, we'll leave the
Amazon.
link in the description, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, on Amazon, The New Age of Technical Analysis.
by Brandon Rosewag.
Yes, sir.
Now,
yeah.
I have a question for you on something I personally have been learning. I've been working on learning futures and Forex. I would love to hear about Forex from you. You trade it often. I noticed you've been calling some trades out inside Team Bull. So if you had to give me a 5-10 minute beginner's class or just, introduction, what would it sound like?
All right. So the way that I started Forex was there was this dude that went to my gym years ago, and he said he was a trader. I was like, oh, cool. What are you trading? He said Forex. I was like, what the hell is Forex? I was only familiar with options. So he explained it to me. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Dabbled with it a little bit. I noticed with Forex that the technicals are a lot cleaner, if that makes sense. Like in the stock market, you could look at something and it looks clear as day that it's going to go up, and then boom, goes a complete opposite way. Knock on wood, I personally haven't had something like that happen in Forex to me. My trades, I'm sure that it happens, but if anybody that's watching this trades Forex and options, they can sit here and vouch and say, yeah, the price action, everything in Forex is just so much cleaner. When I first started trading Forex, I actually had.
So, Brendan, I'm stopping you for a second. I had like a little. So you would say that news and stuff doesn't affect Forex as much as it does the stock market, technicals and such, or is that not true?
It does. Like, say you're trading the yen and the Bank of Japan comes out and says something, like, yes, it's going to have an effect, but what we saw yesterday with CPI, things like that don't really happen in Forex.
Okay, so you would say technical analysis is a little more reliable in Forex than it is a typical stock market. Okay.
Yes, hands down.
Good.
The only time that I really pay attention to like fundamentals in Forex is if like one of the banks come out and say something again, that's going to be important. Or like inflation data, or maybe like the prime minister comes out and says something, or, a president, whatever it is. But like big news events, not your everyday, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I understand completely.
Yeah. So, I always vouch that technicals lead before the fundamentals anyway, but that's a whole different conversation.
So, anything you'd like to add to the Forex?
Yeah. So, I started dabbling in it. I only put $100 in at first, but pretty much what you're doing with Forex is you're trading currency pairs. So like the US dollar to the Japanese yen. Essentially what you're doing is you're going long. So you're buying the first currency in the pair. So say we're talking USD, JPY, you're going long on USD, but you're shorting the yen. So if the yen goes down and the US dollar goes up and you're long on USD, JPY, you're going to make money. But if you're short and it goes up, you're going to lose money. In Forex, you don't have to worry about option Greeks, which is very nice. You're either long or you're short, and you make money off of pips. Now, going back to your long one currency and short the other, what I do is I look at the futures of the currency, and Forex is the most liquid market there is. So I'll I'm looking at USD JPY. That was just a swing that we took. I think it's been like 2 weeks since we put it on, or like a week and a half, and I sold out the other day. I'll look at the futures for that currency. So I'm looking at the USD, which is Dixie, and then the Japanese yen. And I want to confirm that the Dixie looks strong and the yen looks weak. So then I can go to USD JPY, confirm the technicals there, and boom, I have myself a trade. But yeah, so Forex, you're making money off of pips. You get to use leverage. I know leverage can sound a little dangerous, but you just need to know where your stop loss is. If you don't have a stop loss and you go in with massive leverage, just like anything else, you're going to get screwed. But if you're smart and you know exactly where your stop loss is, if you get stopped out, you should be comfortable with the risk.
Yeah, it's like anything else. You gotta have the correct risk to reward setup. What platform do you use to trade it?
So I use Owanda and IG. I am looking into Forex.com. I think I'm going to open up like a 10K account on Forex.com and trade it in Team Bull.
Nice. I may open up one with you. I'm looking to get into Forex and futures.
Forex so much better.
It's definitely something I want to get into. At least take the Forex trades with you and.
So Forex, I mean, I mainly only swing it. That's what I've always done with Forex. Like sometimes I'll take a day trade. It's really rare. But the setup has to be there. In order to make like good money day trading Forex, you have to have such a massive position because you're making money off of pennies in Forex. Swing trading, you can catch those big moves. So the USD JPY made 212 pips. And I think it went up to like 330 pips total, but 212 pips, that is a lot. If you're day trading, you're talking 5 pips, 10 pips.
You just recently closed out a big trade on Forex, right?
Yeah, it was the USD JPY.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds amazing to me. Like
it is amazing because literally I put my stop loss in and I just set alerts. I don't sit here and stare at it. Like I can go to bed comfortably. And
just be like, all right. Stress out of it. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm not hearing a downside.
It sounds like it would be a good extra income source. That's what it's all about for sure.
Yeah, completely. And again, you don't have to worry about the Greeks. Like with options, say you're swinging something next week and let's just say it's Wednesday, you still have that theta that's going to hit you. So that's kind of worrying you. Mm-hmm. But with Forex, you're just all right.
There's no like time
multiple things working against you when you're trading options. You got, IV, you got you got theta. So you say none of that affects you. So whatever it's just like so you're trading. So what exactly are you buying into? You're just buying.
It's literally
like contracts. What is it? I don't understand.
So sounds sort of like a debit spread.
No. So
no. Okay.
The easiest way that I explain it to people is just like imagine you trade equity in the stock market, but you're doing that to a currency pair, and then you have leverage.
Okay, so I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And there's no day trading rule on Forex.
Nope.
Awesome.
Wow. And
anything you think we need to add to this for the beginner looking to get into Forex?
Is there? Well, yeah.
Well, I'll definitely say that in Forex, I am a lot more accurate. Like very, very, very accurate in my Forex swings. So I mean, that just says something right there. If I like truly had to guess when it comes to options of my success rate, I would guess anywhere in between 70 to 80%. But Forex, I would dead serious put it up towards like 90, 95%. It's been a while, knock on wood. Watch, I'm going to take a losing Forex trade next week. But it's been a while since I had a losing Forex swing.
Brandon blows account next week in Forex.
That'd be terrible.
The whole thing. So is there any like time frame that it's open, or is it just it's always open, right?
Yeah, I just it's open 24/6. So it opens Sunday at I think it's 5 or whenever the futures open, that's when it opens. And then Friday it closes 5 or 6.
You use the same strategy to find setups in Forex that you do finding swings and stocks, right?
Yeah, I literally look for squeezes and then look at my moving averages, look at multiple time frames, and then whichever time frame is the best, I'll use that.
Nice.
Yeah, this is really neat. That's really cool. I've not looked into it very much at all, so I really like. I'm enjoying hearing about it now for sure.
Why, thank you. I think Forex gets like a bad rep too, because there's those stupid little MLP groups or whatever they are. Where they're like, yeah, you can trade Forex. You just got to get your friend to sign up and then get another friend to sign up and another friend. And then whenever there's like those scammer accounts on Instagram, TikTok, it usually mentions Forex. So I just think it gets a really bad rep. But if you're like actually trading it and you know what you're doing, it's amazing.
I often find that a lot of the surface coverage of investing stuff is like toxic and, doesn't cover what it's actually about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brandon, you recently got married, right?
Yes, I did.
How was that? Was that
Good.
a little nerve-wracking? You a little nervous, or is it just pretty smooth?
No, I was sick. So, I was
Like literally sick, not like nervous sick, like had a cold, the flu, or something.
Dead serious. I was sick since last Tuesday. I still feel kind of sick.
Well, hopefully you're better before you head off to Jamaica next week, right?
I hope so.
Ooh.
Got the wife sick too, but no, the wedding was good. No complaints.
Awesome.
What kind of cake did you have?
Banana cream pie and then cupcake.
Yeah. What? That's amazing. That's awesome.
What is it? I'm missing it here. What happened?
Banana cream pie and cupcakes.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
That sounds awesome.
What do you plan on doing in Jamaica? You got like a schedule set up? You're just gonna go wing it like Wayne is doing?
Just like anything else that I do in life, I always wing it.
Yeah, just go have a good time.
Winging it.
I don't know about you all, but one of my favorite things about traveling is trying different foods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. For me personally, like the reason I wing it is because I feel like when I schedule stuff, I stress. Like say I have something to do at 11:45, for example, and it starts to get to 11:44 and I start stressing that I'm not going to be able to do it. That's why I wing it.
I can totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you joined us on here today, Brandon. Did you have anything else you'd like to say about your book, Forex, marriage, anything before we wrap this up?
I actually have a couple more questions.
All right, let's hear them.
Just like quick fun questions. Because you're, an author and everything. What is your on the other side of authoring? What is your favorite fictional work? Do you have anything that you like novel-wise, or?
Honestly, I just read a lot of kind of like mindset books and trying to master happiness, relieve stress, subconscious mind. More
philosophical interests.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Especially after this week, you definitely need to relieve some stress.
Yeah.
Man, this has been one of the most stressful weeks of day trading that I remember in a long time for me personally. It's been a tough market.
All right, and this is my last one, because I mean, a lot of people who've written books like this and stuff in the past, I believe, they go on to maybe at least assist in writing drama about the stock market too, from what I gather. Would you ever try writing or assisting in writing some sort of like stock market drama, like The Big Short or Wolf of Wall Street or anything like that?
Probably not.
They caught me off guard with that question, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a film major, so it interests me because like I always wonder how they write these movies, how they gather all that information, and it's just a lot. Like talking to somebody like one of you guys during that process would be amazing. Yeah. No, I know.
Brandon, if I see you acting out a puppet skit on your YouTube, I'm subscribing. So
I would tell you if I make like a massive $1 million to $2 million trade, then I'll make a movie about it.
I want you to act it out using puppets, so.
All right, deal.
I'll film it.
Deal.
Add some special effects, CGI. So yeah, I mean that's all I got. My weird questions are done.
Yes, I think it's about sushi time. So,
not fair.
Well, Brandon, I appreciate you for joining us. For everyone that wants Brandon's book, I'll leave the link in the description. Or if you're listening to this on Apple or whatever, you can just go to Amazon and find it. I believe you still have the ebook as well, right, Brandon? You still have that?
Yep.
Awesome.
Very nice.
All right, gents. Will.
Right on, brother.
Take it easy.
All right. Appreciate you, Brandon. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much
Adios.
for coming on.
Of course. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one. If you have any other recommendations or anybody else you'd like to see on the podcast, please let us know. Leave some comments below. And yeah, that's all I've got. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks.
Peace.
Bye.